Hi, I'm Glenn Schmelzle. I'm the founder and CEO of Marketing What's New. Marketing What's New was founded in 2009 with the purpose of trying to use digital marketing to generate leads for clients. And it was aimed to try and bring companies that have sales teams who've been using 19th and 20th century methods for getting new business to bring them into the 21st century and give them new digital tools that can help them find their next customers. I haven't been an entrepreneur for all that long. I'm actually a reformed marketing executive, and while I have a lot of marketing experience, I'm new to the game of running a business. And when I started working with Master Entrepreneur, which was in the fall of 2014, I had been, for that time, serving a small number of clients, but I was only able to serve so many at a time. I was technically the one who was doing all the work, and while I was on top of my game, I was not able to serve more than a few clients, and those clients were usually pretty small. So when I started working with Master Entrepreneur, the aim of the coaching sessions and the quarterly sessions was to try and help me move to more of a self-operating business that didn't depend entirely on me. So when I started attending the Master Entrepreneur sessions, I was opened up to a whole collection of areas that running a business needs, but that I was coming to appreciate I didn't know how to do. And when you are at the very beginning of your business, you do need to do, at least for a short time, all of those things. You have to do finance, you have to handle operations, you have to handle accounts payable, accounts receivable, bookkeeping, taxes, working on the culture of your organization, your systems, your processes, client service delivery, quality assurance. It's overwhelming. And I certainly, before I was coming into Master Entrepreneur sessions, was feeling overwhelmed, was feeling like I had to scramble all the time to do all of these things in a haphazard order when the thought struck me. And I was becoming the kind of person that I'm sure other people would look at and say, well, they don't know what they're doing. Why would I give their business my money? So when I started to realize that it was actually hurting to try to do all those things at once, at that point, I relaxed and I started to listen to the systems that this Master Entrepreneur course talks about, and to get slowly but surely a plan in place for how I would address each one of those areas. Another part of what Master Entrepreneur does to try and move people towards having a self-operated business is they put together quarterly groups where you're meeting with your peers, other people who are doing the same thing as you. And that was quite helpful for me. It was helpful first because I wanted to share the plans that I was making for how I was going to get out of being just the technical delivery person to being the owner of a business that delivered something. And I was able to share those plans, get feedback on them, and make them better. And then meeting quarterly meant that there was some accountability. I knew before I showed up at the next meeting, I'd have to have something to show for the last 3 months. And so that required me to push myself a little bit, and the other members of the group did as well, but we all helped each other. And it wasn't in a judgmental way, it was there to try and let each of us reach the goals that we wanted to have. And that's something that I found very, very useful in attending Master Entrepreneur's quarterly sessions. As a result of the time that I've spent in the program, I'm feeling more confident about how my business is doing. And while you'll never hear an entrepreneur say that the work on their business is done, I can feel the gains that have been made, the traction that has been happening, the culture that is now forming within the team that is in my company. And these things all give me a very bullish outlook on how the business is going to go ahead. And self-operating business now becomes something that is closer to being in reach. I've made plans to take some time off this summer. That's something I never would have done in earlier days. I'm delegating now to people and empowering them to make decisions. That's something I wouldn't have done in earlier days. And so these changes that are happening have very much brought me closer to the vision that I heard Master Entrepreneur talk about. Not sure I believed it right at the time, but I came to accept that it's possible to have a self-operating business, and I feel like I'm pretty well on my way to eventually achieving that. And it gives me the confidence to recommend the program to other people who have, I'm sure, had the same issues with self-doubt, with the unknown, with all of the new stuff that you need to tackle when you're running a business. And I can confidently say that I would move them towards Master Entrepreneur program so that they can see if it's for them and move past some of those early defeatist kind of attitudes that entrepreneurs naturally have, and that they can get actually working on their business so that they can help achieve the dream that they set out to when they started the business in the first place.